Good. We're good to go. All right. Welcome to CYBERWARCON. All right. Listen, we're on a little bit of a tight schedule. We've squeezed a lot of content in this year. You'll notice the lightning round is ridiculously long. That's a problem we have every year. There's so much good stuff that we have to figure out a way to make it all work. We're, one stream here, so unfortunately, sometimes we have to just cram. So first off, I just want to thank the speakers who are coming out this year to speak. You guys submitted some amazing stuff. I was like, every year it's so hard to choose, and I just wanted to also thank the submitters, even the ones who weren't picked. You guys, there was so much good content. I can't tell you how many. You could do 3 other conferences. They were, really high quality with all the great stuff that comes in. I also want to thank the CFP board, who spends time every year to make these really tough decisions. It's not easy, but I think we've picked a really great show for you guys today. Volunteers. There are so many volunteers doing so much work. Be nice to the volunteers. Thank them when you see them. We can't do this without them. One of them, August. Where's August? Deadlifted like a 400-pound crate with this thing in it into a pickup truck last night, along with Chris Peterson. We can't do it without them. Chris is from Chris Peterson in the cowboy hat. He's our producer. He's from Digital Project Masters. They are the magic behind this whole show. Could not do it without them. They're amazing. Talk to them if you have other conference needs. Sponsors. We have incredible sponsors this year. Vertex, Rubrik, SentinelOne, Microsoft, Census, VMware, CrowdStrike, Doppel, Filigran, URL Scan, iVerify, and Acer Security. Thank you so much. Your support means everything. It's why we got scarves this year, guys. I'm telling you. And you all. Thank you guys for coming out. We couldn't do this without you. In person and virtual. This all relies on your interest, and the second you guys don't care, we're just going to hang it up. But you do, and it means so much to us. And lastly, my family who's here, thank you for your support. I get choked up. Couldn't do it without you. Now, before I get started introducing Morgan, I want to say a quick word about, I've got my notes here and I've failed to load them. A quick word about, oh man, can't get to my notes. That's not great. Anybody have can somebody pass me that bad boy right there, that red pamphlet? Yeah, thank you. Anyway, so, before we get started, I just want to say one note about the recent election. About 8 years ago, the reason we started CyberWarCon was, in the wake of all the shenanigans that were happening with Russia. I think the issue that I identified, and a lot of us identified, it wasn't anything special, but was that there was a lack of understanding what was going on in our space, right? And I found myself talking to journalists, well-meaning journalists, and I would be basically one side of the conversation, and the other side would be some crank who had no idea what they were talking about, and just making things up, right? And they would say things like, couldn't be Russia because Russia only does very high-touch operations, stealthy operations. There's no way this is them, right? And one of the reasons I started this is I thought that if we could have a conversation about this publicly, if we could identify the experts, if we could bring the press in, that there are opportunities to take us by surprise, to cast doubt on our work would be vastly reduced. And I really believe this year has been a great example of that. I think a lot of the operations we saw were simply didn't get off the ground because immediately they were identified and discussed, and people had the background and understanding to really to deal with them successfully. And I think you guys are are the reason for that and all your hard work. So thank you for everything you do.